I'm not allowed to have emotions. Anger is an emotion. I'm not allowed to talk about things. You just did a 1 hour comedy special.
ये मेरे मम्मी पापा का ख्याल रखती है, हमारे बच्चों का, शी सच अ गुड मदर, खाना बहुत अच्छा बनाती है. Then dude, you just like her for the things she does for you. You don't actually like her as a person.
We know what you mean by the ups and downs. You mean your infidelity. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Wait One More Thing. I'm Neha Kapoor.
I'm Jyotsna Mamani.
Hi, Jyotsna.
Hi.
How
I'm
are
very
we
excited. Doing so good. So excited to talk about today. Sorry, I've already jumped the gun because I can't wait to talk about today's topic.
I know.
TDT. You tell me what's going on, what's happening, what's on your mind right now.
Movies. Movies are on my mind because I just booked the tickets for us for this amazing upcoming movie that you're telling me has really good reviews,
Yeah.
which is To Baby Die.
Baby, did I do?
Baby Do Me.
Maybe.
Die.
Baby, do I do?
Baby Do Die Do.
Yeah.
So the name is apparently a tongue twister, but the
Yeah.
movie is supposed to be amazing. We're going for that tomorrow. It's
Motivation.
been a great run at the movies lately. I've really enjoyed Main Wapas Aunga, and you have been non-stop talking about a couple of other movies that I have avoided to watch because I don't watch horror because life has enough horrors as it is. And both of us have been really excited to watch Michael as well,
Right.
which is another movie that I have avoided to watch because I was not ready emotionally. I've been crying for 60 days now
Oh my God.
without watching the movie, just thinking about Michael Jackson. But I think I'm ready now. We're going to watch that soon. But what is the movie that you can't stop talking about, which we are going to talk about today? Two of them, I believe.
Two of them, yes. And I'm sure you can see it in the title already. But I think I'm not the only person, but I'm obsessed with the movie Obsession. My friend Manali recommended it to me, actually. What an incredible suggestion. Oh my God. Incredible movie. And one of those movies where you, when you leave the theater, the movie still has an impact on you and you're kind of still in that world, which is actually what happened with us after we came out of Main Wapas Aunga also, right?
My God, remember how I was crying.
Yeah.
Both of us
I
were
think
crying.
last ke kuch 10 minutes something. I think second half only was very
Yeah, I
emotional.
cried throughout the second half, and
Yeah.
by the end sequence, the post-credit sequence,
The
by then I
song.
was bawling, and I was bawling outside the theater as well,
Yeah.
which has hardly happened. I'm a crier at the movies, but crying outside after the movie has ended,
Yeah.
that's rare.
Yeah, some movies just leave that kind of impact on you, and that is the best part. That's why we love movies, right?
We
The
love movies.
emotion it invokes, and it is so incredible to see all these different genres of movies coming all across the languages, English, Hindi, and I'm sure other languages also.
Talking about different genres that are coming on in the theater, I think the genre of horror has had a resurgence in
Oh,
a
100%.
really different kind of a way.
Yeah.
Because horror used to be a lot of jump scares, and from whatever I've read about these movies, I'm not a horror person, so I'm going to avoid watching them. But I think Backrooms is one that you were saying doesn't really have a lot of jump scares, so maybe that one I'll give it a
Right.
shot.
Yeah.
But since I can't do jump scares, I think it's also because of anxiety. I think you should avoid watching all of that. That's why
Right.
I'm also a rewatcher. I will rewatch the same
Yeah.
shows, the same movies, because it's like a
You know
comfort.
exactly what's coming.
You know exactly what's coming. It still gives you that dopamine rush
Right.
without any anxiety or fear or anticipation. So anyway, that's besides the point. But Backrooms, I might give it a shot. I was saying that horror is, I think, the only genre that is doing something different right now. Otherwise, it's all sequels and remakes because filmmakers are banking on big names and big franchisees.
Right. And at the end of the day, now we know in this new era of filmmaking and content consumption, content is king. You can have the biggest actors,
Yeah.
but no, you got to have a good story, right? Same goes for what we're seeing in Hollywood right now. Both of these movies, Obsession and Backrooms, although on surface they're quite different. Yeah, technically they belong in the whole category of horror, but the subcategories are completely different. Obsession is very more psychological thriller. Backrooms is also psychological. Backrooms ka vibe is very like the eeriness, the creepiness that you feel when it's a liminal space. And I think we've all been in liminal spaces in different ways. And it just brings out something in you, this slowly rising anxiety. I think which is why people liked a movie like Backrooms, because I think anybody who likes horror, this is why I go. And this is why I go in the theater, because I want to be scared. I want to be, I like that rush that it gives me. Anyway, but the amazing commonality between both the movies is that both of them have actually been made with incredibly low budgets, especially by Hollywood standards. But look how well it's doing, and
Stories king.
stories king, content is king, and it's done by YouTubers. Both these YouTubers who started from YouTube, and the Backrooms thing, it started from 4chan and then Reddit. This whole journey to see, and I think all these Hollywood executives, they need to watch out what's happening, because आप कितना भी पैसा लगा, तो there is no guarantee how the movie will do.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Okay, I want to ask you, since you've not
Yes.
seen the movies, but I'm sure you've seen the discourse online, okay? I will get to the movies, but I want to know, as like an outside observer, what has your observation been regarding both the movies?
So since I'm not planning to watch either, maybe I will after this episode. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to sit together holding hands and watch it. But so I read the plots, and I'm somebody who doesn't mind spoilers.
Right.
I found some interesting parallels between both the movies, and I also thought that, like I said, horror is going through a change in a way that it is now reflecting reality, but in an exaggerated way, obviously, because the purpose of it is to make you feel uncomfortable. But the discomfort that we as a society have been feeling for the past 5 years, seeing whatever is happening in the world, the amplification of violence, the amplification of femicide, the broadcast of bombing. Like, we knew war was always there, but it wasn't like in our faces all the time
Right.
as content.
Yeah.
Right? So, as a society, we have been bombarded with disturbing things, and some people have gotten numb to it. Some are still disturbed by it. The way that horror is progressing now, and these young filmmakers are portraying stories now, is also a reflection of how we have been feeling as a society, which is a good thing, right? Even if you don't want to comment on things directly, you can use a story to tell that this is the reality of our society right now, and it makes you think.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what an artist does, right? If you create art, there is always a way to express yourself and do a commentary on the things happening in the world through your art. And it is so cool to see these young men, taking this initiative and putting all their, and not just them, of course, all the actors, the whole team behind the scenes, everybody who's part of these movies, to put all their time, money, and energy on these stories which are maybe not the most mainstream, but just having that faith in their own work that maybe this could be something. And now look at both of them just getting so much appreciation. Everybody on that team, the actors, they're doing incredible. In fact, the actress in Obsession, at least the fans want her to be nominated for an Oscar. And you know what, like, if I hadn't seen the movie, I would be like, I think this is probably, she's very, very early in her career. She's very young. So it's not like she has a lot of, experience in the industry as such. But after watching the movie, I agree, she is incredible. So maybe like a newcomer, not that she needs Oscar for the validation, honestly, but it's still cool. I'm sure as an artist, even she would like
I'm
it.
sure newcomers have won Oscars before, and interestingly, Jafar, who plays Michael Jackson, is also being pushed for Oscar. Like, people are saying he should
He
get
also
an
deserves it,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I mean, from whatever we've seen,
Whatever we have seen, we've not
he
seen the movie,
dances exactly like
but,
Michael.
right?
He speaks exactly like
Yeah.
Michael.
And he's
Not
clearly
ma-
done his research. So,
I mean, it's his family, so he didn't
Yeah.
really have to do a lot of research. So he knows about these things because that's where he grew up,
right.
right? So that's an advantage he had, because he's surrounded by all the brothers and the sisters of
Right.
Michael. So he doesn't really have to do a lot of research, but he had access to his diaries and his affirmations. So that also told him a lot of things.
Of course. I think in that way, I want, our industry to do a little better. Hindi movie industry. So, chalo theek hai. मैं वापस आऊँगा. Incredible. Shout out. Baby Duda I Do getting incredible reviews. Great. And you know what? We need more of this.
We need more.
We need more of big directors putting their money on the story first and then everything else.
But there was a time when Bollywood used to be about hero kaun hai, heroine kaun hai, gaane kitne hain. That's it. Now I think slightly things have changed. If the aim is money, then I think you have to consider a lot of things in this country. And especially I think those kind of movies have reduced in number in the theaters now, because then they release it on OTT. Right. If they think that it's not going to make money in the theaters, let's release it on Netflix and Hotstar or whatever and just be done with it.
Right.
The way they did with Chamkila. Such a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be in the theater. That's where we should have seen it. And such a musical thing
It's
shouldn't
good to
have
at least have that option of OTT at this point, right?
Yeah.
It's giving
That's
platform to this. And also we get to, I am sitting in India, but I'm getting to experience content from all over the world. It has not been accessible like this ever before.
True.
So when these people in power, with the riches, when they put their bets on stories like this, is when you will see a real shift, because then the smaller directors and the producers can follow. Right?
True. I was really sad to see that a movie like Homebound did not really get eyeballs in India.
Right.
Even though the story was real. It came from a real life story from the lockdown, and lockdown was such a scary time for us. Like, since you were talking about movies that make us feel uncomfortable and times that make us feel uncomfortable, nothing is more uncomfortable than lockdown.
Yeah, I mean, वो तो fictional है, ये तो real life है, so yeah, exactly.
And this is a real story of two friends, and people didn't really go and watch it, even though Karan Johar was backing it and marketing it. I wish people would have gone. I really liked it. I saw it twice actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's on my list. I have.
Yeah,
but I'm
please
going to.
watch. Another movie that makes you feel so much. Come to Obsession now. Why are you obsessed with these
I'm obsessed with Obsession.
Obsession and Backrooms?
At this point, it's become like I'm actually getting recommended videos now where it's like, do you think you're also obsessed with Obsession? Me too. Let's figure out why. So I'm literally seeing content like that at this point. So, okay, essentially. This movie and even Backrooms, because first I want to touch on the parallels in these two movies, because upar say, if you just look at both of them, very different. The pacing, everything very different. But both the movies are about men who cannot deal with their own loneliness and everything going on in their lives. So instead of actually facing it, they get attracted towards this impulsive decision of basically creating a world and problem for themselves that they cannot get out of.
Yeah.
And in that process, of course, they're hurting themselves, but they're hurting the people in their lives, and in both the cases, the women in their lives. Very cool that it was actually written by men. I really liked it. I like the fact that it was actually written by a man, because, this whole discourse of male loneliness epidemic, all of that. Yeah, if there is an epidemic, think about it. There's a reason you're lonely. And especially Obsession, this guy, he's feeling sorry for himself from the get-go. Matlab, the first scene is literally him confessing his feelings for a girl, but then you see like it pans out and you see he's just telling his best friend, basically, like he's practicing his speech in front of like a waitress, and he doesn't end up doing that because he's a coward. That they've shown from the first scene itself, that he's a coward. And another interesting thing, because then when you rewatch the scenes in the movie after you've already seen it, you notice that this guy is a walking red flag pehle scene se. Because everything that he says in that speech about this girl, Nikki, is everything that she has done for him. Not her as an individual. What is she about? What are her hopes and dreams, and how is she like as a person? No, it's all about, she was very supportive of me when my grandmother died, and etc. Basically things on the similar lines. So this guy, he claims that he likes her / loves her, but I don't know, bhai, ye kaun sa pyar hai where all you love about that person is everything that they do for you, And now at this point, you just like the idea of them. You just like this picture of, oh my God, what if Nikki was my girlfriend? But do you even know if she wants to be your girlfriend in the first place? Which
And we have
is-
noticed this often, right? And I'm sure whatever we're talking about right now will be very difficult for most men to understand because they've been conditioned that way, that you are supposed to love somebody for what they can do for you and not who they are as people. We've heard men talk like this. We've
Yeah.
seen Instagram posts that men post on their anniversaries and their wife's birthdays saying that I love her because she puts up with me. I love her because she sacrifices for me.
Yeah.
I love her because she's been through ups and downs with me. We know what you mean by the ups and downs. You mean your infidelity.
Yeah. All the Bangkok trips. Yeah. That is what it ultimately means.
Or being on Hinge, being on
Yeah.
Bumble.
Yeah.
With
Oh, especially our city. I'm sorry, but it's this is not even a hot take. It is a very much a reality of our city. All these second tier cities. There's so many married men on these dating apps.
Yeah. And we have theories as to why that happens, but I think that's a whole another topic for another
Oh, yeah,
episode.
We could talk about that.
We
for
have
ages,
an
but-
hour on it, definitely. But yeah, I mean, those ups and downs and the things that she puts up with is your infidelity, is your taking her for granted. And that's not something to brag about, dude.
Right. It's not.
Right? Good couples don't talk like that about each other. They will talk about who they are as people, who they are as a couple, how they grow as a couple together. Right? But most of the time, that's what we see online. And
Yeah.
that's what we've seen our previous male friends, because most of them are not our friends anymore for
Right.
obvious reasons.
Right.
We've heard them talk like that.
If you've been with someone for 20 years and uske baad all you have to say about that person, why you love her, is things like ये मेरे मम्मी पापा का ख्याल रखती है, हमारे बच्चों का, she's such a good mother, खाना बहुत अच्छा बनाती है, then my dude, you just like her for the things she does for you. You don't actually like her as a person. I doubt even after 20 years you truly know who she is as a person, what her hopes and dreams and fears are in life. And you don't care because you never bothered to ask, because as long as my needs are getting fulfilled, that is all her existence is about.
Ask a man what he wants in a partner and watch him describe a slave.
Yeah, it is a sad reality. And it's not even, it's not like we're just saying these things theoretically. We see these things around us. You know, like a lot of these shadis, like Mehendi, Sangeet function, you have all these couple games. Like the person will ask them, oh ho, apni chalo बीवी की दो अच्छाइयाँ दो बुराइयाँ बताओ. And it's like बुराइयाँ मैं 4 बता दूंगा, but अच्छा है कि खाना बहुत अच्छा बनाती है. अरे कुछ तो बोल दी उसके बारे में. Say something. Why you love her? What is this attribute? What is an attribute of her that you admire, maybe? But yeah, and which is pretty much what happens in this movie, right? So there is this one scene which I know was a little disturbing for a lot of people.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert if you've not seen, but I've been out a while now.
Yeah.
So देखना होता तो देख चुके होते हैं. But okay, wow, that sounded rude. I'm sorry. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch
Coming
it.
at them for
It's
no
okay.
reason.
It's okay, but spoiler alert.
Ouch.
So in Obsession, there is this one scene, and okay, I'll give you thoda sa context for if you've not seen the movie. Basically, the wish that he makes, because he wants to desperately be in love with this girl. Oh, fun fact, this I haven't told you. Right before he makes the wish, okay? So they're in a car, they're talking, right? And 2 minutes before the actual wish happens, he makes a comment, okay? Which he calls her by a name, like in a very teasing manner, a name that he very well knows she does not like to be called by. Okay? Now he says this word, and she creates a boundary right then and there. And tab tak she's normal Nikki. She's this very cool girl, and very confident in herself, knows who she is, and she right then and there creates this boundary ki I hate that word, don't call me that. And he's like, I'm sorry. And because we've always been taught this notion, oh, if a guy is mean to you, he likes you. So immediately after that, you know what she likes, what she asks him? She's like, do you like me? Straight up, she literally asks him this question, that is that what you're trying to do here? Do you like me or something? Because if you do, then let's talk it out. We can see about it. Because in the movie they've given thode bahut hints that yeah, she does see him as a friend right now, but maybe it could be something more. Maybe if he wasn't an asshole, maybe this actually could have worked in a regular manner. But anyway, so she asks him this question straight up, and this guy, being the coward that he is, instead of actually being like yeah and accepting whatever her reaction to that is, he says no.
Whatever.
There is no defending this dude because he had ऐसे platter पे बंदी सामने आपसे आके पूछ रही है hey do you like me, but no, you are too much of a coward to accept her response, which could have been negative also, which could have been like no, I see you as a friend, let's not spoil that. And maybe that's what he didn't want to face, and he ends up doing the cowardly thing of using that wish willow thing, which he did not know obviously would work in the moment, but he makes the wish that I wish Nikki would love me the most in this world, and basically Nikki ke liye main sab kuch ho jaun. And to the point that this woman is truly obsessed with him. She loves this guy even more than she loves herself. Right?
Her own dignity, her own self-respect,
Her everything.
her needs, her desires.
Exactly. Even the most basic need of what are the basic needs, like khana, going to the washroom. So this scene that I'm talking about, the disturbing one, is that this guy is going to work and both of them are co-workers, but that day it's her off. So he's going to work and she's standing in front of the door, okay? And she has this like like a very creepy smile, but for her it's like a normal smile because she's like saying goodbye to him, like come back soon, I'm gonna miss you. And she has this smile like this, and वैसी smile hai. So the idea is basically because Bear is not around her anymore, she ceases to exist. Her needs do not matter at this point. So the camera pans down and she's smiling like this, and that's very scary by the way because the camera is on her face for a few seconds, and then it pans down and you can see that she has peed herself. And it is, that scene just, it did something to me. I was like, oh my God, this woman has lost everything. Like, chalo, wo to hai, she's lost who she was as a person and herself as a human being, her attributes. She's literally lost her sense of being, her existence is something jo usko bhi parwa nahi hai, just because Bear is not around. Again, the obsession of her literally loving him so much that her own choices cease to exist, which obviously this is an exaggeration, but we do see it in real life also, right? So many women, they literally become different people after marriage because then you're expected puri zindagi is aadmi ko de do.
Yeah. I was just thinking that when you were talking about this, that this is just an exaggerated representation of what women are expected to do in real life. Like, give their entire being to this man. Their world should revolve around him and his family. And this whole discourse lately online in the manosphere about women don't care about men's mental health, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Women have become unpaid therapists for men for centuries, to the point that they don't care about their own mental health.
Right, they don't.
Women have destroyed themselves to the point that आदमी खुश रहना चाहिए बस.
Right.
He should be happy. His desires need to be fulfilled. They will perform in bed just so that the man is happy. They will perform in the kitchen so that the man is happy. They will leave their desires, their goals, their dreams, their careers, their families, their last names, their old friends, their cities, their countries behind for a man. And that does something, that changes a person fundamentally. It's easy enough to say that the name that you get from your father is also patriarchy and you got from your dad and it's not really your name. So the man's name is also not his name. He also got it from his father. Right? Why is he allowed to keep his identity and I'm not?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I was born with this name, so I have an identity associated to it. And the whole idea of changing your last name, and in some cultures, even your first name after a marriage.
That's shocking to me.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
A name is just not just a name.
It's not.
Shakespeare said it, but it's
What's
not
in
really...
a name? But no, there is a lot in a name.
Yeah, there is a reason why your names have frequencies, what I believe. There is a reason your name resonated with your parents and they kept that name for you, and you have heard that word over and over again throughout your life.
Right.
So it has shaped you in a lot of ways.
I have two names, right? There's a name that only my family is aware of, that they call me, and then there's Jyotsna. I feel like sometimes two different people. Truly, like
Yeah.
when I'm
I
out and
get it.
about in the world, I am Jyotsna. I am this person doing things. But when I'm at home, and it's Juhi, by the way, in case somebody's wondering. But when I'm being called Juhi, I feel very, and it's a good thing. Like I feel very safe, very protected. Like I don't have to be this, independent person going out and do things. Like I just feel very at ease, and sometimes I'm like, oh my god, in my head it's like two different people.
But both names have been with you throughout your life.
Right, they're part of me.
Now imagine changing somebody's first name is so sinister. The whole idea is that you become a new person. Your past life doesn't matter, your people don't matter, your festivities don't matter, anything that is happening in your home doesn't matter. Now this is your new life.
Yeah,
For what reason they call it a punarjanam, that this is a new life for a woman?
I swear.
Because what? You got legally bound to somebody?
Yeah.
I mean, that shouldn't happen. Your past matters.
Of
It has
course it
shaped you
does.
as a person.
Exactly.
It's so ridiculous, according to me. So, yeah, women have been expected to leave so much behind and center this man, make him the center of their world. So, yeah, this is what this scene is trying to portray.
Yeah. And
And-
even in the movie, sorry, what were you saying?
This is what this guy wanted, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted love. He wanted
no.
control.
Yeah, he wanted control, and also the world to see ki, Nikki, this beautiful girl, she's my girlfriend.
Yeah, and
You know?
it's a disgusting feeling because I've been
is.
there when you realize you're a trophy to somebody, not a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying.
So I was saying ki isme bhi, you can't give him, and I've thought about this from a lot of ways. When I was reading some things online from people from the other side, it was like, no, Bear was not a villain. He didn't know the wish would work. It was just a stick. He's like, okay, see, that is not the point. Chalo, fine, de diya. I give you that leeway ki, okay, he didn't know the wish would work. Great. There is a scene, I forget the timing of it, but let's say within the next 15 minutes only, there's a scene. Basically, they show a chota sa montage of how they're like this happy couple. He's enjoying all of this, huh?
Yeah.
He's enjoying the coupley things. He's enjoying when at work everybody's looking at them, suddenly why are they together? He maza aa raha hai usko. Of course, he has other benefits, all the physical benefits that he's getting from the relationship, loving them. But then there is one scene where they're having a date, and I think you must have seen it. It's the meme of no. That one, have you seen it?
No.
Yeah, it's people are like recreating. It's a meme at this point, but basically, उस scene में it is very obvious to Bear and to us as a viewer that अभी तक अगर थोड़ा सा भी आपके मन में doubt था that did the wish work or not, it has worked for sure. Because this woman, the way she's behaving, in fact, they've done a very incredible job of her wardrobe as well. Her wardrobe shifts. Because she then dresses how she thinks Bear would want her to dress. So from a very, like in the first part of the movie, her clothes are a little baggy. And because she's shown as this like cool chick, has a lot of guy friends, stuff like that. So baggy jeans, this and that. And then the moment the wish works, she's dressing in all these cute,
Girly,
matching
yeah.
sets and thoda sa off-shoulder top and stuff like that. So which was a very good detail, I felt, like the attention to
Yeah.
detail in that way is very good because she's dressing in a way where up until now you've not seen her dress. Point is, in that scene, in that date of theirs, it is very obvious to me as a viewer and to Bear that no, this is not Nikki. This is something else, and the wish has worked. Technically, if he wanted to do something about it, then he could have, but he did not.
Why would he? He's getting all the benefits.
Yeah.
It's like this whole discourse about situationship, which is something I never understood because I'm an all or nothing kind of person.
Yeah.
Either I'm madly in love with you
Yeah.
or I'm not.
There's no in between.
There's no
Yeah.
in between. Like situationship, I never understood, but people do it, and it's very convenient, right? You're getting all the benefits of a girlfriend without the label, the commitment, the effort that needs to be put in, the work that needs to be put in a relationship. So why would this guy end things? He's getting
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only time he actually like fights back or talk to his friends about it, basically the only time he's disturbed by this whole thing is when he starts getting affected, because he's coming home and she's looking filthy or whatever, and this is not very pleasing to look at. Then he wants to the smallest of things, like he wants to spend time by himself, nahi ho raha hai. His guy friends call him over for like a boys night, wo usko karne nahi de rahi hai. So that is when all of this starts happening, when he's kind of like embarrassed by her in front of his friends. That is when he's like, oh my god, poor me, oh my god, look at me, I'm the victim, मैं बेचारा, मेरे साथ क्या हो रहा है. Again, even that scene was very disturbing. This party wala scene, if you've seen the movie, you'll know. Where, so this is the Wish Nikki, and she's being very creepy. I don't even want to get into it. This weird poem she says, and then which also has meaning, by the way. It's not just, there is no scene in the movie that is alto falto, huh? But okay, anyway. So for a moment there are flickers of the real Nikki showing through. So whenever the real Nikki is coming in those scenes, by that point मतलब पानी सर के ऊपर से निकल चुका है, ठीक है. So whenever real Nikki comes out, she tries to hurt herself because she is so done with this.
This is what reminded me of Severance. Right? So if anybody has watched Severance, I'll give you a slight idea about it.
Yeah.
Not a spoiler. This is an office where you are your brain is surgically severed in two parts before you start working in this workplace. So one part of your brain is your work personality.
Right.
The other half of your brain is your outside personality. The outside personality has no recollection or memory of what is happening inside.
Right.
And the inside person has no idea of what is happening outside. But when the inside person realizes that whatever is happening inside is not good for them, they try to harm themselves. Whenever that realization clicks.
Right.
Because now they're split into
You
two.
can't separate those things, basically. इंसान तो एक ही है.
But again, that is a commentary on capitalism in a way, right? You're supposed to act differently in office and outside, and you're supposed to leave behind all your worries outside, which is not possible.
It's, you are the person you are. I mean, we've had to do that in the past, and it is incredibly difficult.
It sucks. But just one thing I wanted to point out, when you were saying that he starts getting bothered when she starts affecting his life or his personal time, or that's such a interesting thing to see, that this happens a lot in real life, in a way that men will pursue you for months, for years, and the moment they have you, or you have feelings, then they want their space, then they want their time, then they want their alone time, then they want to be with the boys, and then you are clingy and you are too needy, and all of that comes because what, they have you now.
And then the WhatsApp jokes start of like, ha ha ha, oh, बीवी ने मुझे allow कर दिया जाने को, oh my god. And क्या भाई, मतलब
the whole ball and
if you
chain,
hate
right?
if you hate your wife so much, why are you with her?
Why did you propose?
Yeah, exactly. Why did you I mean, हमारे तो चलो proposal भी होता नहीं ज़्यादा. It's more like a fake proposal for videos after your marriage has been arranged.
Yeah.
But oh my god, how have we digressed? Okay.
No, but this is important.
It is true. It is true.
It happens in real life. Like, acha, let's keep aside arranged marriage because that's a very India specific thing. But in dating, that's what happens, right? The thrill of the chase is so important that the moment you have them, they start to seem boring and irritating. That's what's happening with this guy.
The same things that you liked before, suddenly they're like, oh, so annoying, she's so weird, or whatever. And I'm complaining to your friends about this girl that you were obsessed with at one point. Obsessed with.
God.
We know he doesn't truly love her. And this is yet another example, because if he truly loved her, a person you love is standing right there and she's hurting herself. Your instinct should be to go check in on her, no matter how scary she might look at that point. His instinct is like looking around. What are they thinking about me? Oh my god, she's so weird. Everybody must be thinking, oh, he's so lucky he has a beautiful girl, but like, she's so weird. What is she doing? That's his concern at that point. He does not give two shits about the other people around him. Actually tell him later to take her to the hospital, which, oh my god. And I feel by that point, agar tumko nahi realize why that this guy is not the protagonist, he's the villain of the movie, then I think, I'm sorry, look within yourself. Something is very wrong. Why do you think that this is normal?
Yeah, and if you are relating to this character, I mean, time to book yourself a therapist.
Yeah, please.
and don't expect a woman to do it.
I swear. If you relate to any of these, like the animals of the world and
The Kabir Singhs.
the Kabir Singhs of the world.
I said Kabir like Katrina. Kabir.
Kabir. Kabir Singh. Yeah.
Oh God.
How do we say this a lot?
We have become one person.
Yeah, and I think, okay, if anybody is wondering, this episode sounds very like a movie review, but it's actually not. This is just our views on the movie, and we love it. We are very big movie goers, movie watchers, and movies affect us, yeah, especially if it's good movies. If it's invoking any kind of emotion in you, then why shouldn't
It's
you
not a movie
talk
review
about
because
it?
I haven't even seen it.
Technically, it can't be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be.
So,
But
I'm like one of those critics जिसको
हाँ.
filmmakers बोलते हैं देख तो लो पहले पहले तुम
yeah,
no but
Okay.
I'm here to do societal commentary
yeah.
and there's a lot.
So backrooms में essentially, like if you see the commonality, यही है that the protagonist is he's very well told by his therapist in not so many words. It's not very on the nose, but basically he's made to realize that he was the problem because in the scene they show in the first scene that his wife has left him and he's his life is a mess and in fact
Because he's abusive, right?
because he's abusive. वो फिर हमको धीरे-धीरे we discover
अच्छा, okay.
it might seem like he was trying to do the right thing, this and that, but then there's another scene that comes later in the movie when she asks him to like hold no bar, खुलेआम जो तुमको अंदर जो भी गुस्सा है whatever, let it all out, what you would have liked to say to her. Then when he says all of that, you realize the way he looks at his wife is literally again the same thing जो Bear चाहता था अपने उससे. His wife की how are you contributing, तुम तो काम भी नहीं करती हो, this and that, I'm paying for your education, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, what is your contribution in this? Which is, it's ridiculous, and the way he frames those sentences is not something you would say to someone you love, you know.
Yeah.
What does an emotionally sensible person with some EQ do? You deal with it, yaar. See, life is shitty for everybody in different ways. You deal with it. You deal with your demons. We all have demons. Nobody is doodh ka dhula anymore in this world, I
Yeah.
feel. We all have our light and shadows. They're all a part of us, and you deal with them. You accept it and you deal with your shadows. But no, this guy finds solace, so to speak, in the back rooms, which is this a different portal, a different dimension where there are no consequences to his actions, essentially, right? वो तो चलो, again, spoiler alert, but he eventually dies in the movie, and her ending is left very open-ended, which was a little controversial, I would say, for a lot of people. The whole idea is that you don't know if she's able to get out of the back rooms or no. So that they've left hints. Now it's up to you. It's like Inception. Tum khud socho. You
Yeah.
figure it out. I think my opinion, and my friend Manali's, who I think is the expert, is that she has not escaped back rooms. There were a lot of signs कि उसने back room नहीं escape करा at the end of the day. So this poor woman had to face all of this just because he could not deal with his own issues and shit.
So here's what I think, based on whatever you've just told me. So we watched this movie from the perspective of this man, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what happened to her.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean,
Because-
eventually it becomes about her, but yeah, initially it doesn't.
No, but since we've been watching this from his point of view,
Right.
it doesn't matter, and that's
Huh.
I think the point, that he never cared what happens to her, and
He didn't.
he still won't care what happens to her, and that's again a commentary on men
Yeah, in general.
in general and their entitlement.
Yeah.
So yeah, the point is she's a plot device in a way,
Essentially.
Yes. And it doesn't matter, and it makes you think that do you really care?
Basically, this woman, she's done the work. She's done the hard work of dealing with her demons. Yeah, maybe not all the way through. It's not like if you're a therapist, so you've dealt with all your demons and you're like, perfect or whatever. And who is perfect anyway? But she's dealt with her demons, and this guy hasn't. But now she's the one who's stuck in backrooms, I think, forever.
It's interesting how both these movies are kind of commenting on a similar vibe and the concept and situation that is happening all over the world for the past 4-5 years. This problem that we have been, this problem that we have been collectively dealing with as a society, which is the rise of the manosphere, the red pill content,
Right.
and this whole narrative about you don't have to work on yourself, you can manipulate somebody into loving you, right? That's why they give these pickup advice that you do this and then you can have the woman, you do this and you can have the woman, instead of being somebody who's lovable, right? It's all about playing some tricks. You started this episode by mentioning the male loneliness epidemic. I still can't say loneliness.
Say baby dude, I do a main loneliness epidemic
Male
5 times in a row.
male lon- male loneliness epidemic.
Yay.
So the conversation about loneliness in society started in a very gender neutral way, right? Everybody is lonely right now, है ना? But it has been co-opted by men because they are special. So their epidemic is more grave and more
They're
important.
the victims,
Yeah.
clearly. Yeah.
So that's why it has a phrase of its own.
Of course.
But the problem is everybody is lonely. Women have worked towards it. They worked on their friendships. We spoke about this in our friendship episode, right? Women also realize that they are lonely. Women go to therapy. Women talk to each other. Women spend time alone. Women journal. So many things. We do inner work. I have done so much inner child work. I've done so much journaling. Men won't even go to a therapist. Like, I have actually told men that, listen, I'm not qualified for this conversation.
Yeah.
Please go to
Say
a
this to a
therapist.
therapist, yeah.
Yeah.
Only a professional can do it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
could have the best of friends, but it's like blind leading the blind. Matlab, the Sex and the City episode where Samantha is straight up like Carrie's like, no, but I don't need a therapist. I have you guys. And Sam is like, what the hell, woman? It's blind leading the blind. Look at us. We have our own fuck ups and issues to deal with in life. So,
And
yeah.
Carrie still screwed that up.
Yeah.
She hooked up with somebody at the therapist's office, found somebody there, John
Yeah.
Bon Jovi.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
And she never went back to therapy. That brings me to another point that whenever men complain about feminism, if you think about it, they're actually complaining about the patriarchy. Things like, I'm not allowed to have emotions. Anger is an emotion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm not allowed to talk about things. You just did a 1-hour comedy special.
Love it. Exactly. I don't like to talk about my emotions. किसने बोला? और उसमें भी victim मैं बेचारा अंदर से टूट रहा हूँगा but सामने दुनिया को दिखाऊँ. किसने बोला?
I'm supposed to earn. That's patriarchy.
Yeah. Who said we can all share the burden?
I'm supposed to give alimony. That's patriarchy.
Yeah.
Because women were not allowed to work. They're still not allowed to work.
Yeah.
There is still pay gap. There is still wage gap.
Yeah.
There is still a career gap because that woman is giving birth to your children and sitting at home for 10 years and that's why she can't get a proper job.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to pay alimony.
Exactly. No, I think too thick-headed to realize these things. I think it's
Wow,
like ulte ghade pe pani dalna. I think the people actually this would be beneficial for. I don't even know if they will click on two chicks talking about a movie. You know what I
Oh.
mean? Yeah.
Oh God. But I did have a conversation just yesterday with a man
Okay.
and we were talking about, we were bashing men basically.
Okay.
So I told him, thanks for this. I really enjoy bashing men with men.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Clickbait.
complaining about patriarchy, dude. You don't realize it hurts you as well.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing is, the system that you have created, you are still having problems in it. Like,
हाँ ना. Basically रोना है. हम बोल रहे हैं चेंज करो जैसे बट उसको नाम फेमिनिज्म क्यों उसको नाम इक्वलिज्म क्यों नहीं है?
I mean, it's really hilarious that they complain about things like women want somebody who earns well. First of all, it's not true. If that was true, so many men in this country would not be married and there would not be a population burst.
Yeah.
This humongous population that we have did not come just because women were sleeping with rich men. If that were the case, we would have what? 10,000 people.
Yeah, exactly. We have what one of the most highest poverty
Highest,
rate in
not
the
one
world.
of, yeah.
हाँ, तो highest poverty rate in the world. तो किसने बोला women only are
अच्छा,
married?
poverty rate. Population highest है, poverty
Poverty
rate भी
भी
one of the
highest है.
highest
Yeah.
है.
तो अब अगर high है ही, तो फिर कहाँ है वो सारे आदमी उनसे किसी न किसी ने शादी तो करी है ना तभी तो सब उग रहे हैं.
So it's not true that women only care about rich men. It is true that women do look for stability is because their families Their families look for stabilities because you will not let them work. There will be no money in the home because you don't make enough. She's
yeah.
not making anything at all.
Right.
Right? So obviously they will look for somebody who has a stable job.
Yeah, and also sadly for a lot of these women, this money that they're marrying into also equates to freedom, which they never got in their, in the home that they were brought up in.
Yeah.
Because the conversation from day one is, अरे अपने घर जाकर करना, जब शादी हो जाएगी तब करना, ट्रिप पे जाना है फ्रेंड्स के साथ, शादी के बाद करना, ऐसे कपड़े पहना, शादी के बाद करना, बेसिकली क्योंकि उसके बाद all the decisions will be taken by this man. So the money that comes with that marriage actually is like a freedom ticket for sadly a lot of girls.
Yeah, maybe, but at what cost? Right? I mean, that
Yeah.
freedom also, you don't know how much of it you're gonna get. Maybe you'll get a few holidays with him. Maybe you'll get a diamond necklace. Yeah.
And I think some women are like, the bar is so low that they're okay with this also.
Yeah.
Because they're like, kuch nahi se kuch to acha
Yeah,
hai.
exactly. Because that's how they've been conditioned,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That this is the level that you can reach
Huh.
as a woman. That life has its own pros and cons. But yeah, you have to realize that if somebody is looking for a stable partner for their daughter, that's for a reason, right? And they just want you to have a job. Nobody is looking for an Ambani. Otherwise, all of us would be going after Anant.
Yeah.
We never tried. We should have, but we never tried.
अब हो गया कुछ नहीं सकता.
So hopefully things change. Women like us should keep talking about it. Men should keep talking about it. The only thing that will change thing is men joining the conversation.
Yeah, because men don't respect anybody the way they respect other
yeah.
men. So a man saying, that's why I'm saying, like, a man making a movie like this, if it's making another man think, listen, I love it, I welcome more of
Yeah.
it, thank you, keep doing this. And in general, content is king always, be it movies, be it this podcast, the aesthetics of it, whatever. But at the end of the day, if the content is what resonates with people, like knowing who I was talking to, so people will keep coming back.
On that note, like the episode, comment down below if you've seen the movies, what you thought about them, and what else did I want to say? Follow us on Instagram. Okay, bye.
Yes, for some fun content. Bye.